We have already said the Pledge of Allegiance and opened the meeting.
Okay. So with that, I refer to this as LGV all the time, just because it's shorter, but just to let you know if that's the case. So um, we've said the pledge. Is there any public comment? There's no public here at this time. Next agenda item is the budget. So I do have a copy. So within the whatever that is that the government review package, they have all of these templates, and so that's where I printed this off of. And so tonight, budget, timetable, meetings, point of contact. Those are the things that I'm looking at. So this study commission budget, I know that it's $12,000. The total budget is $12,000. Um, and I did talk with the clerk and recorder, and she said that don't, if we have an election, this is a 2-year process, but we can do it within a year. But then that would be a special election because there is an election next year.
Okay, when does the election start? Can I ask
Yeah,
a question? Can't you put it on the next
we can.
election?
I'm just letting you know
Yeah.
that if we were to decide on the timeline to get this done in a year, that it would cost us $4,000. It would be an election, and we have a $12,000 budget. So.
Right. But one thing too is if you did it on a general election, it's going to cost very little because it's just going to be the issue.
Right.
So, I mean,
Yes.
it's versus if you don't have to have an election
Right. That's
until, yeah.
right. That's what I'm saying. So that's something that we can talk about. Um, you know what? That's one of the line items on the budget is election, and we're just supposed to estimate this budget. We know that training tuition and registration fees. I don't know about the registration fees, but the training tuition so far has been $1,500 and then $825 because it's $225 for our training for each of us. So
we've got the low end on this training
right,
because the upper end is 25,
yeah.
if I remember correctly.
And the only difference of it is that you got CLE credits, that you got continuing education credits.
Need those, but
Right.
I need to check into that to verify that for myself. But you're sure there was nothing
No,
missing?
no. We get the webinars. We can do the webinar. We can do everything um, except for the CLE credits.
Yeah, I've already gone through that. I'm familiar with that.
So then the travel, there will be, obviously there's going to be mileage um, for, I will put in for mileage for coming up to these meetings. We don't need space rental. We don't need refreshments. The printing could be, uh, it's pretty costly. Um, to be, but it's also convenience for me to do it at home. So I don't know about you guys, what you'll decide to do. I mean, I probably put in for a cartridge, or for that matter, have the center order one because it might be cheaper they might get a discount, the county may, with it, but I don't know. We need to have a figure in there, for,
Well, now they have materials and supplies down one line below that.
right, which
Below
could,
that.
that could be the better one to use rather than printing and postage. I mean, I don't think we have,
On your mileage, are you going to be using the federal IRS per mile?
yeah, that's what we have to,
I
yeah.
don't know, I think that's 50 cents. or-
57?
Like 67.
Maybe it's.
Oh, it's 67? Oh, I
Yeah,
don't
was
know what it
thinking
is.
it went up a little bit this year.
Yeah,
So 67 cents a mile.
So are all the study commissioners doing that, or what is?
And then January, it'll probably either go up or down, so you'll find out what the rates are.
Yeah,
Right.
it may again change.
September 30th.
yeah. And then the materials and supplies, we have to put a figure in there.
So is the 12,000 to last 2 years?
Yes.
So Rayma paper, and cartridges.
Yeah, I'm inclined to say $500 just
Yeah, I would too.
because, um, advertising, that's going to be a bit different because you're looking at, what did you say, anywhere between,
It's like 70 to 125, just depends on how many words.
right,
So
that you have
we
in
have
there.
at least one public hearing.
What do the
Possibly two.
commissioners already have set up for advertising?
It's the same thing. They have to pay us. They have to put things in the paper.
Okay,
So it's,
But don't they get some kind of a discount since they're doing this all the time?
No.
no, I wish.
Because that's one point of contention that came up in our meeting, and I'm very acutely aware that we have to keep the public involved
Sure.
in what we're doing. And going to the grocery store and posting something, to me, is so foreign. I mean, honestly, it's like trying to rob Peter to pay Paul.
Well, they're like public meetings. We don't have a choice. We have to put that in the paper.
Well, but all of our meetings are public meetings.
They are, well, a public hearing. Excuse me. I use the wrong.
Yes, and there are 2 hearings required.
Right. Exactly.
But
I don't know, Gary. 12, like if, I guess if we can talk to the paper and ask them to try to cut us a deal.
I'd be more than happy to call them and talk to them because I've talked to the owner once before on the tax issue, which is one of the reasons why I'm here.
Yeah.
We can do something about these taxes that everybody's complaining about.
So, yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. One, I mean, I know Jesse fairly well, too, but I think all of us should probably talk to him.
Well, I do too, because I think this is really important. We have the opportunity to really change the system, the way it's been operating around here.
Well, we don't, the people do.
No, the people do. But we're the ones that are going to tell the people and hopefully convince them that it's in their best interest.
May I just point out this piece of paper, please? So the only thing this local government review is for is to look over the power, the form, and the plan of the local government.
Correct.
It is not to remove individuals from election office, adding, changing, removing services or programs, changing the electoral process, fees, rates, taxes, or other services funding mechanisms.
There's a little caveat that comes in here with the taxes.
There is, but that's gonna come later.
Well, it's going to come up fairly soon because this is one of the reasons why I'm on this group. And I have talked to a lot of people. I have not met anyone who is satisfied with the way things are going with their taxes. Granted,
Oh, trust us, we realize that. We're within it, but that doesn't mean that, I think we really, Gary, have to keep in mind that we have a big influence
Yes, we do.
on this, but I guess I will beg to differ with you on the fact that the commissioners, they said it that
Okay,
if
I wanna say something right now. The commissioners don't set the
No,
taxes.
they don't. Well,
The Department
no.
of
No,
Revenue
no, no.
sets.
okay, but let's get back to, we're talking about the budget, so let's get back to doing what the budget is. So you're gonna call Jesse,
I'll be glad to call Jesse.
okay,
Yeah.
and because he's the best person to go to.
Okay.
I feel like, because we could talk to the reporter, but he's going to have to talk to Jesse anyway.
Well, as we're bringing up this talking to people, one of the things that came up in the Bozeman meeting was that, well, there are actually several things. Number one, we're a group of three.
Correct.
If any two of us get on the telephone and start talking about anything related to this, that's considered an open
We
meeting.
know
It's a
that.
quorum.
Yeah,
I know you know that, but it has to be disclosed.
absolutely. That's why I
It
said
has
it in the
been
very first
disclosed.
meeting.
In the first meeting, it was disclosed.
Well, okay. Secondly, in that vein, we need to have a separate email.
I have that.
It's on,
It's
it's on the
coming.
agenda.
It's on the agenda right now. It is. So let's see. Consultant, facility, education, other. Okay, so advertising, I don't know. I'm gonna put, I think we should put down maybe $2,000. Sound all right?
For a starter.
I mean, this isn't something we can't change.
I know.
We can amend it, so we're good there.
As far as admin, do we have to pay Miranda for her services for doing the agenda for?
That's another point is that, why are we picking Miranda as the point of contact?
Because we can't,
We can't
we
converse.
can't, because if we say, hey, send your agenda items to me, then that's a quorum, whether it's Gary or it's me.
But
It's
she
a,
can't answer questions for anybody.
no, she's not going to. When we talked, I don't know if you guys did, Gary over in Bozeman, but when we talked extensively about that up in Whitefish, and they said you should have the assistant to the commission be the point of contact, and that
So,
way,
okay, so now I need to bring this to the boys because
absolutely,
they
yes.
seem to feel that they don't want Miranda involved
Well,
at all.
so this is going to be a hard part for you, being the liaison, and you're going to have to get Blaine involved in that. They don't get to say we can't do that.
Okay, okay.
Because we can't
Communicate.
as a quorum.
Well, and that's just the only thing that, show me where
It says
it
that.
says that, and then I'll bring it, and then I'll talk to Blaine and he can, and then we can just.
Okay, well, it's all the way through this stuff. We'll
Well,
get it to
I've
you.
got it in my notes, and I've got the section in the statutes
Yeah.
that say that.
Yeah,
In
we'll
the
get it.
statutes,
But
yeah.
you've got to
Absolutely.
keep something in mind. The statutes are not controlling. They are controlling only as to procedure. It's the Constitution.
It is Montana Constitution.
Okay?
Yeah.
And what we need to do, I think, is get this group operating under the Constitution and put the statutes where they belong. Procedure only.
Well, that's probably going to be a case by case scenario, with it. But let's finish the budget and then we'll go on to the bylaws.
Okay.
12,000 for the total. And then what is this for tuition registration fees? altogether, that is.
Well, we've got 1,500 plus 825,
So if it's a two-year, if it's a two-year study commission, can you do 6 for each year? Or do you
They
have to budget the whole 12 in the single year?
You have to do a budget for each year.
year,
Yeah.
but
We have to do the first year's budget now.
now,
What I'm saying is, can you use, do you have to use the 12,000? Can you put 6,000 for this year and 6,000 for next year?
I don't know that for
Well,
sure.
So if $4,000 is gonna be the election fee, if you only have $6,000 for next year, then you only have $2,000.
Well, we probably won't do that. We probably won't do a special election. They just said that you should do the total budget
And then roll
Okay.
it over.
and then roll it over.
Well, then, so then it carries over.
It does
Yes.
carry over. Yes, yes. 23, 25. Okay. And
So you did put 4,000 in for elections?
I
Just
will put it in there in case we
just in
decide
case.
we want to do a special election. I don't see that happening. Why would we?
If not, you can amend the budget to put it somewhere else.
Yeah. So 4,000 for the election, 23.25 already for the training, tuition and fees, 67 cents a mile times 3. Materials $500, advertising 2,000. And it does say staff on this budget, so I don't know if that means Miranda. I mean, we didn't get that. I didn't get that. I don't know if you did within the meeting. They just
If we had to hire a consultant for any reason,
That's-
or if we had
yeah.
to hire someone to fold envelopes or whatever it is, as
Yeah.
the commissioners, we are not paid.
Right.
as a commission, yeah, we're not.
So I don't think Miranda would be either.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so.
And
And
this-
it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, who is Miranda?
she's the assistant to the commissioners.
Okay. All right. County commissioners.
Correct. Consultant, education, and other. Do you want to put something in other for this year? I mean, we can amend this at any time, so.
And you're talking consultants and education.
Well, yeah, that, I just don't know that, I mean, we can stick some money in there. I, the only thing I would foresee is if, oh, let's see, what would be a good example? I don't even know if there would be a good example that I have one. They just said that like if somebody, if we had to hire outside consultants, which I would assume would be like a different
Well,
lawyer.
I would think maybe the people we're working with MSU, if we had to have them.
Absolutely.
And go over a particular
It
issue
could
of
be.
a problem.
Should we put $1,000 in there?
Maybe.
Okay. That's the timetable. That is. Okay.
They charge $2,000 plus travel expenses.
Maybe we better.
One in-person training for study commission or community forum facilitation from LGC team, subject matter expert, 2,000 plus travel expenses.
Why don't you say 2,500? Hopefully we don't need to.
Right. So in this review sample budget, they have 2,300. So that's great. Training, they have $7,500. Resource and materials, they have 1,500. And I'm going with a large community, so this is a population of 100,000 or more. So, I mean,
What is our population?
3,000. Yeah.
So we're small.
Yeah, so that 500 is, yeah. Survey, I think we need that. Resource materials. We put, let's see, what did they, 500 for a small community, 750, and we put 500, so I feel comfortable with that, don't you guys? Advertising notices, this is way, way low, I feel. For a large community, they put $1,000, and we put 2,000. I mean, I think we need to stay with that. Support staff, 8,000 for large election expenses, anywhere from 500 to 2,000. Publications, 1,000. Miscellaneous, they have 1,000. I mean, the thing of it is within this is that we just can't go over that $12,000, the line items, I mean, we want to stay and be as close to it as we certainly can, but. So others, shall we put 1,000 in there?
So do we have to have the balance incorporated for the 2 years to roll it over? So whatever the balance is, so it can be rolled over?
Yeah, because we don't, yes, because we don't know
What it's going to be?
for sure what we're going to, I mean, the travel, we don't know exactly what.
So
that's
if
gonna
we're
be.
allotted the 12,000, then we can put each line item, and then whatever the balance is, other to be determined, because we know whatever's left was in the
That's
general
true.
fund of the Granite
We can
County.
roll over it, yep,
So
So-
this is fiscal year, right?
yes.
Right, so would it be-
Calendar year, fiscal.
So it wouldn't be calendar, it's fiscal.
Yeah.
It
So
should
it'd
be fiscal, 'cause it's-
July
Yeah,
through
12,000.
that way it would automatically roll over whatever the balance is
So you would redo the budget
with what's left.
with what your cash value is left.
Correct,
And then you take that cash value and do your budget
for the following
for
fiscal
the
year.
following year.
And then whatever is left at the end goes in the general fund for the county. Do you
Yeah.
agree?
Ooh, Gail, that's a little bit more than 2,500. So right now, we don't have the travel in there, but right now we would have $5,800.20 left for next fiscal year. So I guess we could.
So that's almost splitting
So
it in
you
half.
guys will get mileage to come to the meetings.
Right.
And do you live out of town or do you live in town?
A couple miles away.
So, and also the mileage to the.
To the
in-person
training.
Yeah, absolutely. And mileage and meals and room and board.
I won't. I'll
wouldn't
do
stay
mileage.
over.
Our meals were provided.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I stayed with our daughter.
Yeah, so
You're
just
entitled
mileage.
to eat though.
Yeah,
they
they fed
did.
us.
They fed us well.
They
Oh,
fed
they
us.
fed you?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
okay.
So that's about right. It's about $6,000 a year.
Mhm.
Perfect.
So,
Well, I guess my only question is trying to do it early. We had a big discussion.
Mhm.
About it over that.
yeah,
And yes, it's a way to go, but maybe not necessarily the best way.
correct. And
Because you need to educate people, especially if you're making a change in your form of government.
right, I just feel like we have to be able to put that in there. Do I think that this commission is going to do that? Why would we do that? I mean, we wouldn't, but you still have to put it in there just to.
Need it, you can amend the budget to place it.
Right.
Well, yeah, you can roll it over.
Right, exactly. We didn't use it, so I mean, it's just you have to keep an open mind in the scenario with it. So okay, and then so with this, then the study commission will approve this, and then the governing body, we submit it to the governing body, which is the county commissioners.
So are we gonna go ahead and put other for the balance of the 6,000 or the
Which
58? Which you
Yeah.
choose to do.
5,820 cents. So this would, see this,
But that's, doesn't
it doesn't include that. So we can figure that out. So it's 27 miles, I think, to Peaburg from Drummond.
I'm lucky if I have a mile and a half. So, like I said, if I get $1,
54 times 208 a month. Times 12, that's $12.96 a year. Just for us to come up here. So $12.96. And then
You know, the whitefish.
I don't know what whitefish is. Let's see, maps. Drummond to whitefish. 190 miles. So that's 190 times 2 times 2. And then
it's about 360.
and then we gotta do Phillipsburg to Bozeman. 138. 138 times 2. Okay,
So the 190 would be times 4. You went, I
Oh,
went.
yeah, my bad. Good job. Good catch. 4. That's 760 times 2. So 15, 20. And then Gary's is 138 times 2. 276. Okay, so 150. 276. 1796. And what did you say it was? I thought it was 50. Well, I can look it up, I guess.
Well, we're saying 67 right now this year, but it could change.
What is it?
67 miles.
I'm thinking 67, I could be wrong. Let's see.
I haven't done my tax.
It is 67 because I just looked it up. So.
In January, which is next week, probably
Times
change.
0.67. Okay, so that alone is 1,790. 1,200.
Let's go over the numbers again.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the mileage in there.
This would be for travel.
Yes. 96.
So do you have a line item mileage and a line item travel?
It just has travel. It doesn't have mileage. So the
Travel's going to be mileage, hotel.
1203.32 for right now. And then what did I say? What did I say the other one was? 27 times 2, 54 times 2, 108.
So you
108.
guys have submitted your claims for your training?
No.
For your
Not yet.
hours and stuff?
No.
They're supposed to bill you.
Yeah.
The treasurer.
They're going to bill the as far as like, not for the mileage, we'll have to fill out a mileage thing, but for the training, they're billing the county.
Okay.
It's just one fee.
Yeah.
For
For all of
Okay.
us.
When I signed up for the online course, I had them bill Sarah Graham
Mhm.
for that 1,500.
Yeah.
The 275 is per person for the in-person training.
Okay, so travel, we're going to put it's $2,499. We're gonna put $2,500 in the travel.
Do you wanna bump
Break,
it a
break
little
that
bit
down a
some?
little bit. How many miles?
Total miles. So 1,796 for training.
Miles for training?
Yep. Miles.
So yours was 138 times 2 ways was 276 for yours. Mine and Mary Weaver, hers was 190 one way, so times 4. She went up and back, I went up and back. So my numbers are 138 times 2.
2 days of training?
No, I drove up
And
I
then
drove
it came back.
Oh,
one day. I didn't stay over.
what was your distance up there?
Mine's the same.
A
I
hun-
went to
190
190.
miles.
190 miles.
Yeah.
So 190 times 2 for Gail, 190 times 2 for Robin, 138 times 2 for Gary.
Right.
Okay, and then what did I say? 108 times 12. So 1,296 for that's for education. And then the 1,296 is just monthly mileage.
And you're figuring that on 38 miles?
27 miles. 27 one way.
So it's 27
54,
times 2.
yeah.
Actually times 4. 2 of them,
So,
right?
because we can't ride together,
Oh.
times 4.
We didn't ride together. Times 4. Yeah.
Well, you don't have to.
Um,
All right. Okay, I'm just trying to get a handle on what that is.
Okay, so 108 times 2.
How many miles
216.
do you travel? 1 mile, or how many miles? 2 miles?
Oh, 1.5.
216 times
So 3. Round 3.
3.
0.67. So that would be 144. 144 miles times. Okay, so 216, and then we go times 12. That's once a month, correct?
Right, so you have 111 miles for me.
I had 108.
So 108 for you and I, and then plus 3 for Gary.
Oh,
So
for Gary's.
111 total.
Months times $3.
We're just doing it for this year.
Do that divided by
1332.
36.
Okay,
So
so
that's 108 miles. That would encompass you and myself. 3 miles for Gary. 111 miles times 12
yep,
meetings equals 1332
1,332
in miles.
monthly miles. All right, so try this again. 1,796 plus 1,332. So in the travel column, we will put $3,128. That's for this year.
Call that what, 2025? Because it goes through 2026.
Yeah, but we're just making it for this year.
Right. Well, you mean 2024?
2025. Yeah. All right. So to recap, $4,000 in that special election, which we're not going to use that, I'm sure. 2325 for training. $3,128 for travel. 500 for materials, 2,000 for advertising, 2,500 for consulting. And I think this number's going to change because I did not have that in there when I did that. Okay, 4,000 plus 15 plus 3,128 500 plus 2,000 500. Okay, that cannot be. What did I do wrong?
What's your total?
13,000.
That's what I thought.
How can that? Well, then we need to take that 4,000 off.
I would take that 4,000.
I think we take that off. We're not gonna do it. No, why would we make that be?
So now you're down to 9,000.
So that leaves us, which kind of makes sense, honestly, because the first year is gonna be more challenging than anything. 2,325 plus 3,128 plus 500 plus 2,123 plus 300. So that gives us a total expenses of 10,453. Somebody better check my math on that.
So you got it?
Yep.
That's what I had had.
Okay. So that leaves us only $2,000 for
The following fiscal
the
year.
following year.
I sort of thought this budget was a bit unrealistic when I started looking at it.
I think that's by state law, that's all we can charge. That's the total amount is what I remember Ashley saying. But too, that $2,500 for consultants, I doubt we'll use
I
it.
don't think we're going to use it.
So it'll be about right. I mean, if not,
And if we can cut back on some of the advertising, because that's $2,000 is what, that's a lot of money for advertising.
yeah, we might not use it all. We might not. And guess what? We're all budget.
And then we'll roll over the balance.
Yes,
Other.
we're all budget. We all know how to cut a budget. Not that we like to, but
Okay.
so with that, okay. So we did do the. You know what? We need to back up because honestly, people, we need to re-adopt the permanent officers. Because we did do those in that first meeting, which we should have, but then it says you need to go in and elect permanent officers. So with that,
Now, before we get into that discussion, have you read closely what we studied with regard to what our officers are going to do?
absolutely.
For
Well, before we do that, point of order. Before we do that, we have to have a motion, and then we talk about it.
I motion to discuss this business with officers.
Well, actually, I'll make a motion to have Robin be our secretary, and then you second it or whoever seconds it, and then we talk about it.
Well, I think discussion comes first.
It does not, Gary. Trust me, I do this every month.
You may do it every month, but I want you to really look closely at what we've been studying. I've done this for 33 years.
Guess what? Me too.
With
Me too.
hospitals.
Me too. This is you make a motion, it's seconded, then you discuss it, and then you call for then you call for it. Perfect. Any other discussion? Now you may go.
Yes, thank you. If you look at the materials that we studied on Robert's rules, we're electing a secretary, a president, and a treasurer, correct?
No, we're electing a secretary and we're electing a chair.
A chair. Chair is not part of Robert's rules. It's either a president or not. You can
Gary,
look it up.
Gary.
No, don't give me that. Let's not get
Excuse
off on the
me?
wrong foot. Let's not get off on the wrong foot. I'm making a statement, I'm asking you to.
And that's great, but Gary, let me ask you this. How long have you been in government?
Over 40 years.
Being a doctor is not government.
Whoa.
That is not government.
I disagree.
Can I make a motion to get back to the agenda, please?
Yes, point of order.
Thank you.
Okay? If we're going to try and compare our prior experience,
That point of order.
Let's not discuss your qualifications and let's get back to the agenda,
all right,
please.
well, the agenda is, from what I've seen through the materials I've
Can you
read.
show us what you're reading and then
Well,
we can
yeah,
look
if
at
you
it?
read on the computer, you can see it. I don't have it in front of me.
It states in there. We can look in this.
Now, remember, I have not seen what you're looking at. What I saw was the program on Robert's rules. And I am very familiar with Robert's rules.
It states in there that we have to have a secretary or somebody to take minutes and do those and a chair. It states it in there.
I'll have to see that. And like I
It's
said,
right here, sir.
I haven't seen it up until now because I didn't get into that part of the program.
Let's see. Timelines. Let's see. Maybe it's in here. Maybe it's in this one. No, the basics. That's the vacant seats. Before the ex officiary. It's on page 3 of Unit 1. Process. Okay, that's 3 commission. Typical government. Compensation. Your first meeting. Time of your first meeting. Electing a chair, page 9. At your first meeting, you'll need to elect a chairperson. If you don't have a full study commission, you can elect a temporary chair. We have a full one. Typically, selection is done by nomination and majority vote. This means that the study commissioner who chooses to can verbally nominate whoever they think should be the chair. The nominee that receives a majority of the commissioner's votes will become the chair. You need a majority of the members of the study commission to vote to elect a chair.
Sounds good to me.
I make a motion to elect Gail Leeper as the chair.
We have a motion already on the board or on the table for you.
I'm not finished with discussion. What is the definition of chair's responsibility?
Here's what you need to know. The chair will decide the day, the time. It's a whole thing here. Would you like to read it? You bet.
pretty much falls in line with what I've been reviewing all afternoon under Robert's rules. It's really more of an administrative position, and that's okay with me. So I just wanted to know that.
Did,
But
you happen to hear at your in-person training that they did state in ours to be careful in always going right back to Robert's rules?
No, nobody said that whatsoever.
You might contact local league.
Not that we do that, but as far as I'm concerned, if we can't run this by Robert's rules, we're going to have a real.
you do know that there are many different forms in
Man,
Robert's
I
rules.
have studied Robert's rules for 30 years. I do know. Yes, I do.
Oh, okay, that's all you had to say.
Okay.
So there's a motion on the board to elect Robin as the secretary. There's a first and there's a second. Are we all finished discussing? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. All right.
May I make a motion to put Gail as chair of the local government review study commission?
I'll second it. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed?
Stay.
So there was one that has to be the majority to approve that. Is that correct?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be unanimous. All right, onward we go. It will be much more organized next time. Timetable. We need to look at the timetable. All right. The timetable for deliberations and actions of the Granite County Study Commission is established as required by 73168 MCA for the purpose of assuring full public information concerning the local government review process in our county, city, or town, enabling informed citizen participation. All the meetings of the study commission are open to the public. First study commission organizational meeting, town hall. So we haven't done that yet. We haven't done a town hall.
And that has to be 90 days from our first meeting, is that correct?
Correct. So we had, let's see, I looked at that word, I put it in my notes here. That public meeting would be March. The first study commission town hall meeting, public meeting would be March 21st. Montana State University Local Government Center Regional Study Commission training. So that was, what day did you go, Gary? The 12th? 12, 12, 24, and shoot, what day did we go? The 9th or the 10th? The 9th, was it a
Mine
Monday?
was on the 10th.
10th. Okay, 12 to 10. Okay, regular monthly meeting, study commission meeting, town hall, and thereafter the first Monday in each succeeding month through May of 2025 at 7 p.m. So we don't have to go by this. This is just a guideline for us. So next month I'm on vacation starting the 25th. So the 23rd would be on a Thursday. Do we want to try to keep it on the same numbered day of the month, or do you want it to be on like the last Monday? How would you like to do that?
Could we do these a little earlier?
We can set it whatever time we want. Yes.
Because evening, to me, is not the greatest time. Actually, early morning is the best time, but I don't know if that's because.
Well, we have to make it so the public can come too if they
Well,
so wish for their
we
work.
can do it 9 o'clock, whatever.
What day are you wanting on this?
I don't really care about the day. I'm more concerned about the time.
Okay.
Um,
And if it can't be, let's do early afternoon or something around lunch or whatever.
so we'll be using this room.
Mhm.
So we'll have to take that into consideration.
Well, this is the courtroom.
Correct.
Well, then I'm not sure we can do this during the day if they have court.
Right. That, I mean, uh, honestly, I think we're going to have to be flexible in, I mean, we need to keep it as, but, but also, um, yeah, I'm not sure with that because if this is where we're going to have it and they have court, then we can't have it.
What's the latest that the court would be in session?
5.
Imagine
Yep.
4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, usually.
So the earliest we could do would be 5 if we're gonna use this room. Do you have a preference on the day of the week at all?
Not really.
Well, is there a room downstairs too? Back, oh, what do you call it? Mike Cahill's old office. Isn't there a room back there?
That is now the courtroom.
Oh, that's
The
court.
justice of the peace.
What about the where she was at?
That is some kind of health people.
Okay. What about the health people's room?
Um, that is now the Department of Transportation for the DMV.
Okay. So there's no room at the end for us.
So this would be the best option for public
Well, we
meetings?
probably could do the jury room, but that's one more flight up, but they're still working in that area.
In that, yeah.
Yeah, you still couldn't do that if they're in court because
Right, because they have to have it.
Yeah.
they made them
Yeah.
deliver it or whatever.
So,
So what are you saying? You want to do mornings instead of
Well,
evenings?
I would prefer to do it a little bit earlier than what this is. Not, that's just me.
I'm
And
flexible
if you guys
with it.
can't do
5
it,
o'clock, if they're out by 5 o'clock, is 5 o'clock better?
Perfect.
Okay, and now what day of the, which week, or do we want?
So what
a
time?
Date?
I have
5.
5.
an airport meeting every third Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay, we have a
So-
meeting every third Tuesday, so the third Tuesday, just call that out.
So why don't we consider maybe a Monday or a Thursday?
Okay.
What about Mondays having holidays, maybe a Thursday would be better? What does Thursdays look like for you?
Yeah,
Sounds
Thursday is
Okay,
fine.
Thursday, what week of the month would you prefer? A Thursday at 5 o'clock,
I
but not
really,
the third week?
well,
So,
I guess it would be nice if I could get these 2 meetings out of the way back to back.
okay, so yours is the third
Mine's the
week,
third week.
so the third week on a
Third
Thursday?
week on a Thursday.
Is everyone in good with that?
Third week on a third. I'm good. I'm fine with it.
Since you'll be here?
So that would mean our next meeting would be January 16th.
So everyone's
That would be at
5 o'clock on a Thursday, the third week in the courthouse.
16th at 5 courthouse. Okay, so on this timeline, we will say in the third.
Borrow a pencil? My pen is full.
Sure, you can use one of those, or I might have a pen in here if you prefer pen.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay, so third.
Third week on Thursday at 5 p.m.
So, therefore, the third week on Thursday of each month. Okay. Timetable established and published within 90 days. So that is going to be that March 21st.
Okay, do we want
24.
to see what that date?
Instead of,
Would be the 20th? Would be the Thursday.
perfect, that works out.
Agree?
That stays consistent.
March 20th,
Public.
which is a Thursday.
Is that a public hearing? Or that's a.
So this timetable has to be, the timetable we're making tonight has to be published in the paper.
Gotcha.
within 90 days.
So that's what I'm saying, but this time it's do we call it a public meeting or a public hearing?
We have to have two public hearings, so.
Yeah, did I miss something here for February?
Well,
The third,
it'll be the 20th. I was just, because they have certain things here.
And then this public meeting, will that still be here?
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll just set up more chairs.
So we're having our first public hearing on the 20th?
Well, see, that's the next one. First public hearing to gather. So that's got to be within timetable established and published within 90 days. So when are we going to have that done?
So we should probably have that in the paper. So they're not gonna go by the previous meeting, so it'd be today's meeting.
Right. So we could have that in the paper in January, right? Because we have to publicize that.
I would say January, as long as we are in agreement on what it's gonna be.
Very, very, very far removed from the meeting date. Are people really going to?
So all we have to do for that is put our timetable in the paper. So we have to publish within 90 days the timetable of when we're expecting to do things. So like our first hearing, when we're gonna have this done, that's our timetable. That's the only thing that has to be done in 90 days.
So
correct?
should we
So
should we have it in?
I like to see it in before a public hearing, so people have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if our meeting in February is on the 20th,
Mm-hmm.
could we shoot to have it in by then?
Sure.
I would think, yeah.
Okay, so
So they post, so what day do you want it published? Because they need it in the Thursday before the Thursday that it's gonna be published. So do we wanna shoot to have it completed into the publisher by the 13th of February, then it'll get published on the 20th?
yes.
Or do we want people to see it in publication when they get their paper on the 20th, or do we want them to see it when they get their paper on the 13th? The 13th would be the week before the meeting.
Probably the week before the meeting
So
because
we need to have it to the publisher on the 6th.
okay, so February 6th. But this says established and published, so it's going to be on the 13th, correct?
So the publishing date would be the 13th
Right.
and the 20th if we could do two
Right.
notices. So that would be notice one, notice two would be on the 20th.
Okay, first public hearing then is going to be on the 20th, correct? Of March. And that is at 5, yes?
5 p.m. courthouse.
Okay, so that would be 3, 20, 25 courthouse. Okay, and then adopt a tentative report. We got to have a timeline for that. Well, that's going to be a.
So if I recall from the in-person training, we have to be able to, so if we're gonna have it on the ballot, say in June, then it has to be prepared in January, was that correct?
Yes.
6 months prior to whenever the ballot issue is?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's 26, not 25.
So you would have it at the general election, not primary.
So we have to
Correct.
have a tentative, and then we'll have to have a public hearing.
So adopt a tentative report, so that would, and isn't it X amount of days before that we have to have that done? To them. Let me see. Here's examples of deadlines. Okay, prepare and budget, yeah, we did that. Yep, we did that.
So you do the general election and not the primary. You wouldn't have it during primary.
No, it would be the general election, I
Which would be
believe.
November.
Okay, so they have stuff like in the example, like mid-April 2025. So we don't necessarily have to have a specific date. Adopt a tentative report. This says mid-July 2025. So a tentative report. So we could put that, yes?
That was May,
Uh,
July 2025.
Mid-July 25. That's just tentative, and then the other part would be, okay, second public hearing, it says mid-October of 2025.
You're
Is it
not talking election, you're talking about public hearing.
just hearing? Yeah, tentative.
Tentative.
Second public hearing to gather citizens' response to tentative report. So are you okay with mid-October? Mid-October 25.
At our meeting in Rosewood, some of the people were talking about getting this done in the first year. And they went through all of this. Really, it ended up to be, can you really do that?
It, well,
Because you have all these requirements.
you do, and you have to be thorough within it. I mean, we're gonna have to. I mean, we've all been reading since we've been elected. So, all right. So adopt the final report. Then it said they have a specific date, which would be the general of 2026. So the general of 2026 is in June or November. Excuse me, my bad.
Is it still November 5? Or all elections here?
So is it July? Is that what they said?
They gave an
First
example of,
Tuesday after the
but
first
that's
Monday.
just an example. So adopt the final report, I would say, but there was something specific in there that we had to have the final report to the election office. July. How about if we say the end of June of 2026?
And then November for the ballot.
Yes.
That would seem reasonable.
End of June.
And Sarah will know when you have to have ballot language and stuff, and she will tell you when.
If the final report proposes an alteration of local government prepared public education materials to help citizens understand the proposal and compare the proposal with existing government forms, structures, and power.
So that's for our budget line item for printing.
Proposes an alteration. So let's see. Okay, so this one talks about it being in February of 2026, which makes sense. So you'd have to have it in February, and then the final stuff would be at the end of June. End of February. And guess what? If we get this wrong,
You can republish it.
we'll just republish it. End of February 2026.
Once I get in there, I'll go very carefully over it.
Approve public education materials and conduct public forum.
Are they talking about the form of government?
So if we make a suggestion for the citizens that the form of government should be
Okay.
educational materials to educate them on what we're gonna talk about.
Yes.
So-
That's what I'm thinking.
Two different things here. Deadlines if the study commission recommends no change. That's one. And then deadlines if the study commission recommends a change.
And we don't know today, so we will have
To amend this.
Yeah. Approve public education materials. So, I mean, we have to have
So if we're providing them in June of 2026, then we have to have them.
at that time.
Yeah, we have to have them before that. We have to approve them before.
So May of 26.
I would wanna say April, cause you have to
April?
publish them too.
Okay. April 2026. If voters approve a proposed
Transitional government,
Um,
transition
approve and then let's see. Deadline body, term of office, next general election. Alternative or initiative transition plan. First selection. The new plan. This one says June 21st of 26. For this, if the voters approve a proposed. So we put June.
Now, when would they get the opportunity to approve or disapprove? What date?
The citizens?
Yes.
The final
ballot?
vote. Yeah,
Yeah,
on the ballot.
yeah.
Yes, but they'll have the language to them before.
Okay.
We'll have that to them in April.
Okay.
Study commission's term of office ends.
So voters approve proposed, so are they gonna do that on the ballot? In 2026. Study commission term of office ends, and that depends on
Right.
what happens.
It,
So should they-
90 days after the vote of the plan. So that could be, so that's what, November, December, January.
So then would this be November then?
Read that.
So
If voters
February?
approve a proposed approve a new plan of government and order the election,
June.
that said June,
Okay.
within 20 days after the election. That makes no sense.
So all of this is gonna be tentative because it depends on what is approved and.
Right.
I would say that ends 90 days after the election. Is that what they have on that sheet?
But they are,
Well, now, if you're approving a change of government, what election are we talking?
that's what I was just gonna say. We have to find out if we do this in the primary or the general.
It was in unit one, the days that the terms end.
The reason I'd say the general is the primary is actually
Right.
picking a candidate.
It
for
is.
your particular party. That's all it is.
Now, I wouldn't think there would be anything like this in the primary.
I don't think so. I think it would be general, which,
Yeah,
which
and
is,
I would think we'd have to educate them well before.
Right.
the general election.
absolutely.
There are issues on the primary, but I don't know.
Well, but the issues are just presented for vote.
The issues are just usually local issues.
Right.
Which study commission would be local.
Yeah. we'll probably, I mean, we can put a timeline down here and then we can amend it.
Here's the term of office. So your term of office begins the day the general election results are certified by the county election officials or the day you are appointed by your local government. If at the conclusion of the process your study commission recommends no alternative plan of government, your term of office ends 30 days after you submit the required final report. If your study commission submits an alternative plan of government to the voters, your term of office ends on the day the vote, unless the alternative plan is adopted. So it can either end on election day or it's going to end 90
90
days
days
after.
after, yeah.
But you're talking the general election,
Right.
2026.
November,
Correct.
yeah, November of 20.
So I would say 90 days after, because then in case anything is.
Well, we can say that 90 days
After the
after
general
general
2026.
election
If we know it's not, then we have to.
2026. Well, right, because I mean, we're
Have to anyways, because we don't know what's gonna happen.
Granite County. Gosh, can you imagine if they didn't have these templates? Okay, so we did the timetable. Okay, the next question, the next thing on the agenda is and I read this within there, they said, talk about if it would be beneficial to co-op with the town of Phillipsburg, but it's gonna be two separate
So
things.
they are two separate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I put that on the agenda because it was like,
But I think, my understanding again from both, if you've got a hot issue
mhm.
and people are very much for it and it represents significant change in government, it may be worthwhile to try and get the town and the county together, just so that there's agreement that the public is not gonna say, well, town doesn't want it, but the.
So I would think that would be something as consolidation,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Would that be your understanding? I would think it would be something like that. So I think that we do talk and or invite
I think we should.
somebody from the town to talk because I've heard, and this could just be rumors, but I've heard that is the way Phillipsburg is looking, but I don't know that.
I haven't heard anything other than the one person who resigned, and I find that kind of unusual.
Yeah. So, um, so that would be a yes. So we need to definitely.
Who would reach out? Would you be, should the chairman reach
Yeah,
out?
I probably would, and the well, and or we can just do it by letter.
You could, but I think it would be helpful to, as we get into this, if we're going to do anything substantial in terms of a change, I think it would be better to let the town know at the beginning.
Early.
And then they can make their decision on whatever they want to do.
Well, I maybe put the invitation out there
Sure.
and just, so Dan, I believe, Mayor Reddish told me he's the ex officio for their study commission.
So do we have the ex officio reach out to the ex officio? Is that how it?
Yeah, I think that I do think
It
that,
would probably be better that way because
yeah,
then it doesn't look like we're doing things piecemeal.
right.
Having meetings we shouldn't have.
Well, and they do say that you should use your ex officio for that purpose. So if you ask Dan, just, if we communicate, I
So reach
guess.
out to Reddish.
And probably the best way would be to extend a written invitation,
Mhm.
and then if they come, then
They do.
they do.
Well, and we'll know previous to that so we can get it on the agenda.
Sure, but we need to have something formulated if we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
So what am I asking Dan?
Just if they want to,
Do the co-op the local government reviews together
yeah.
instead of each individual thing together.
I mean, yeah. which they are two separate things, like you said, but we do. I mean, just for communication
Yeah.
from them to us to them.
As I understand it, we've got 6 different forms of government we could look at. And if they were to choose, let's say, number 2, and we were to choose number 4, it'd be nice just to have an informal discussion.
Sure. Or if there's no change at all, then just
Well,
to be communicating
sure, if
that.
there's no changes.
Right. But just to communicate that. That just gets it out there even more. Um,
And that brings up one of the other big issues that they talked about in Bozeman. Did you receive the case from Great Falls, or at least the site case from Great Falls?
yeah, I wrote it down.
I've got it. I printed it out.
You haven't printed it yet, but I will.
What they gave me, I think, was the wrong one.
Oh,
Because the case I've got is Michigan, not Great Falls, Montana.
oh.
And
I yeah,
checked and double checked. So I'm going to get a hold of them or get a hold of Dan Clark
yeah.
and see if we can't get that clarified. Because that was a significant case.
Um, so the next thing on the agenda is the point of contact. And so the point of contact, um, being Miranda, and I chatted with Sarah about it first because they said somebody in the uh, clerk and recorder's office, and or the which Miranda works under that, right?
No,
I so she worked
she's strictly commission.
okay, so they said either that or an assistant to the commissioners. And then Sarah went and talked to her, and she said, yeah, she would be the point of contact. That way, if we, any of us here, have a question, even us, then we send it to her so that we are not creating
what-
that barrier of having a quorum.
What, I don't know, did you guys get a blind email from me?
Today?
I did not.
I sent it out probably yesterday.
I did not, but I haven't checked my personal email because that's where it should be.
And that's what, yeah, it's your personal. And Sarah told me that I was to send you guys a blind email if you had anything on the agenda, and then to get it to the secretary.
Yeah.
Where's your email coming from?
What's your email address?
It would have been emcclure@co. emcclure@co.granite.mt.us.
E. McClure?
B as in
Oh, B.
Blanche.
I did
get
not
it.
get anything.
Let me just take a look.
Because they said you gotta send a blind email because they can't know who, you guys can't know that each of you are getting the same email.
Right, and that's
Right.
why we have the point of contact being Miranda, so that we can send it.
So what they taught us was, so if I want to put an agenda item on, so I'm going to send it to Miranda and then I would blind copy each of you, then we would all get it, but none of us could respond to someone's email.
Gotcha.
I don't see anything on
Yeah, I
this.
didn't.
I did a search.
I must have done something wrong, man.
They just said to make it not a quorum in emails, that when we do it, we have to blind copy the other. So it goes to our point of contact and
Oh,
everyone
no,
else has a
that's
blind copy in it, so it doesn't.
yeah, I didn't get it. Well, I haven't searched my spam yet.
So I guess how you would do it, Blanche, is you would send it to Miranda and blind copy each of
Yeah,
us.
there it is right here.
Yeah, I don't have it
There's
in.
to Robin. Robin. And then it's, you would have been the first one on the list.
Okay, so can you, so UCC, okay, so you can't do it that way, it can't be a CC, it has to be a BCC. So otherwise, if we do a CC, then that means
Oh, glad we
only
didn't get
them
it.
can respond.
Me too.
If it's BCC,
Yeah.
then we cannot
Where's
respond.
that little thing at?
So
Yeah, so I think that's why we do Miranda, so that then there isn't,
Now,
Just open your email like you're gonna write
brings
an
up an
email.
issue though.
I don't know how to do that.
If we're not supposed to be
Okay,
communicating with the commissioners.
well, we can. We just can't communicate with each other because they're part of the public.
As I kind of understood it, the commissioners were supposed to be arm's length.
Did- Yeah, no.
Because we're talking about possible change that could affect us.
But we'd have to be transparent because they're voters
Well,
too.
yeah, be transparent, but that doesn't mean we have to let them know everything we're doing.
Well, it's a public meeting, so they could come to
Well, they
it.
could come.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't think that it, I guess what I'm gonna say for myself is that there's gonna be people that contact me. There's gonna be people that contact you and Robin, but like for me to reach out to commissioners, that's not gonna
Just like
happen.
when you gave my name to the Luke, I guess.
Uh-huh.
So, now we want
I'm not saying it
Okay.
until I know
So,
exactly what my role is.
Sure,
what I
and
can
that's fine.
accomplish.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
we're not here just to blab.
Well, and it wasn't about blabbing. That wasn't it
No,
was
but
to
I
get
know
it out there.
He contacted me and he says, well, can you just give me a rundown on your experience? And I said, no, not at this time.
Yeah,
I don't know enough of what I'm supposed to do.
sure.
And
And that's great. We're all gonna probably answer different ways, and whatnot. The only reason why,
may I ask what your email is? She's doing a test.
Docs Organics,
DOC?
DOCS,
Okay, I'm gonna see the auto. Okay.
ORGANIC
All right, we're doing a test. So,
at yahoo.com.
I don't want her in there. So, and then it has to be. Okay, so she's doing a test to Miranda, and then she's BCCing, blind copying
Us.
myself,
Right.
Gary, and Gail.
And that
Okay.
should go through.
All right, so that's a test.
so we should see that. Yes.
Yes, so we should all get a test because we're all blind copied in it.
Well, it might take a minute to get from that end of the table down. Yep, I got it. Says test.
So
So
I did it wrong.
You did it wrong?
no,
You just did it?
this time is
No,
yeah, it
last time
works.
I did it wrong.
Yeah, it's fine.
Well, I haven't gotten it yet.
I don't have anything.
Well, Gail's faster than us because her Wi-Fi is happy. Anyways, we'll get it later when our Wi-Fi catches up. So that's how we'll do it. Goes to Miranda.
Okay, let's write it down though.
Okay. Can you please tell us what Miranda's email was?
Her email is
MWilliams
M. Williams.
at co.granite.mt.us.
Is there a dot between the M and the
so
Williams?
yeah, co.granite.mt.us.
And there's no dot between the M and the Williams, correct?
No.
Go through that
No.
one.
M Williams at.
M. Williams.
MWilliams at
CO.
co.granite.mt.us. So can you answer me this, Robin? Why did your name come up under
It shouldn't have.
Miranda's? Yeah, it shouldn't have.
Because I used her phone. I didn't know what I was doing.
Oh,
That's why.
gotcha. Okay.
So it has to be BCC to the.
Miranda. BCC to
BCC.
to local government.
Now, do you already have the website that we're all going to be using?
It will be the county's website.
It'll be the county. So say, um, Joe Blow has a question. They will email, text, write, whatever to Miranda. Then she can BCC that to us. But
It's not what they talked about in
That
Bozeman.
way we cannot respond and we do not make a quorum.
Right, but what they were talking about in Bozeman, we obviously are going to need some communication
That's
outside these meetings.
why we have to go through Miranda.
Well, I disagree because in Bozeman, they told us you need a separate email.
So you can do that on your own? You can make your own
I
Gmail
don't want to
account?
do it on my own. I mean, it would be for our committee.
So that would mean that the county would have to make 3 separate emails for each
No,
study
because
commissioner?
it's one email address and it would go.
What you're saying is you want an email for the commission.
For the commission.
Okay, so
But then isn't that you're all getting it?
yeah,
at the
but
same
we're all
time?
getting it, so that would be a
So
quorum.
that's be a form.
Well, and that doesn't matter because we're speaking, we can speak outside this meeting.
No, we can't.
No, we can't.
Well, sure we can.
Not about anything to do with the
I'm talking
commission.
about how the runner's doing, that's
Right,
it.
but we also, if we, let's say we have a meeting that we don't meet in person, and we can do that.
No, we can't, because that's a quorum.
2 people make a quorum and it has to be noticed.
That's right. But it could be noticed and it could be, I can't think of a
Right, we can
reason
meet,
right
we
now.
can meet an
but we
additional
can
meeting
meet
should we need to,
electronically.
but it has to
Yes.
be noticed.
Right,
And we have to give 48 hours notice.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're on the same page.
Yeah.
But if we had our own committee email,
But
then
it's
we could
still
discuss.
gonna have to go through Miranda. We can't talk, you and I can't talk, you and I can't talk about the commission study, you two can't talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes a quorum, even if you just talk about, I want you to put this on the agenda, that has to be publicly noticed 48 hours in
Okay,
advance.
I will check into that a little
Please do.
more, and I'll get a hold of that gal from Bozeman.
I
and
no,
bring it
but
back.
I hooked my shoes are hooked together. Yeah,
You need help?
I do.
Yeah, because I understood that differently.
That's cool.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
You're welcome, that'll be, surgically removed. It's
I'll have to remember that.
And I distinctly remember they had an attorney there who was a committee member of one of the other.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name, Jordan? Jordan?
Don't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, check with them, because
Yeah.
that's my
He was the
understanding.
one that was saying too, he's the one that brought up this study, I'm sorry, this,
They did speak of having separate emails, but they said that more if ever we had to prove anything or give our
Exactly.
information, that we don't have to give our personal
Exactly.
emails. And what they did, they said if you don't want your personal email to be used, then you as a person would create your own individual email for this, just so you don't have to use your personal
well, then
one.
I'll do that and I'll give it to you.
Okay, yeah, so I see what you're saying. So you would just, like, if I don't want my personal email, then I would just go Robin White and make up my own blah, blah,
Right.
and then give it to
No,
them.
because if it ever goes to court, they're gonna get it.
Okay, I see your point. Yes, you may make your own email,
Right.
but it's still, we still can't talk, and it has to go through Miranda.
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
that correct?
That's what we learned up there.
So we're on the same page.
And because we had told them up there, that and that's why I publicly disclosed that at the first meeting, that Robin and I work together all the time, but we don't talk about it, and people are going to have to trust us on that. I know that's difficult, for some people, but that's just the way it has to be. And we can't make a decision
Right.
anyway.
But it still has to go through Miranda.
It has to go
But
through
you could
Miranda.
make a decision,
We can't.
because you could become a quorum.
We could, but that's what I'm saying. That's why we won't.
Okay.
So,
And I know there's room for you to be.
I'm not suspicious, I'm
well,
worried about, well, not worried, concerned over the fact that if somebody does come up and say, well, you two, or
Sure.
make an issue or something.
Sure. And you know what? This is if it because I get paid $20 a month
Mhm.
through the town, and this is the city's, this is the town's computer. So it's open for anybody to look at because it's public. It's funded by, in a sense, by the so I don't have a problem with that at all. I don't.
But I am going to check in on it
Sure.
because I just misunderstood maybe differently.
Yeah, no, we have to, no, it's because we talked to them about it at length. And that's why they said to do it, Miranda, through you, whatever. But so if somebody, I guess this would probably be more for Robin because she works at town hall and even people within the county government has called her on that time and
And I
she's
have to say, no, this is my town time. You are gonna have to call me after hours so that you have personal email because I can't do this local government review with it in my scope of work at the town hall.
yeah. And so yeah, so with that, that's why having a person from Peaburg say calls her on the town hall phone and whatnot, then it's like, nope, send that to Miranda at this email, and then we can go from there. She can blind copy all of us.
So is there going to be a spot on the county website for the local government review?
Well, I'm sure they can probably.
If they
set
do,
one up.
that would be very nice if they could put the point of contact, so
Right there.
everyone knows right
Mhm.
there that everyone needs to go to this person.
And I'm pretty sure Sarah said that Miranda was looking into that with your IT people.
Yeah.
To put it on there.
And that's where all the agendas could go, or the minutes, and it's all there.
Well, anything we want to put on there, which I mean, I would assume all of this
Yeah.
stuff would be on there.
Yeah.
So people can go right to there and we can direct them to go right to there. Okay. The other thing I would like, or I'll propose is that, I mean, so we'll start at 5, but I would like that, that we don't go till 10 o'clock at night. I mean, the cutoff being 9 or 8. I mean, if we start at 5, I think a 3-hour meeting
Then
is
let's limit our agenda and really tailor it to what we need to discuss.
absolutely, yeah. Which I think this is the biggest one
And this was
by
protocol
far.
of
I expected this one.
their
Yeah, right,
documents, what we were supposed to have done
Right.
for this first meeting.
right. But I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know about you guys, but by the end of the day, we've all worked, and
I'm
I
working
get it.
now, so I'm working from dawn to dusk.
Well, so am I, and all but every meeting, every board that I am on, there is a cutoff time,
So 3 hour window,
8 p.m. If we're starting at 5, is that good? Okay.
Yeah, in fact, maybe sooner.
Well, that's the very latest, right? Because
so it can be sooner.
it can be, but no
We'll
later.
have a room full of people, we need to have someone.
Which at some point we're going to have a room full of people. I mean, that's just, and two, I mean, really being able to educate the public about what this is and what this is not.
Does that need to be done by motion, that we have a time set?
I would think so.
I
It
make a
can,
motion that we start at 5 and end at 8.
no
No
later.
later than 8.
Sure.
Second.
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. And actually even having that on the agenda, saying, we'll have on the agenda when the next meeting is and that it doesn't go at the bottom.
Well, that brings up another issue that came up there. they're saying that we should have something on our agenda for people that want to speak.
We do. We'll have to have public comment.
Okay.
Yes.
Do we have that now?
No, that's why I amended the agenda to say, is there any public comment?
Well, no, what I'm saying is, if somebody gets up and they begin to get a little bit hot under the collar and so on and so forth, that's where this court case came in.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can't just cut them off. And you should have something on the back of your agenda that goes out that says you will be limited to 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
I remember talking
They
about
said
that.
be very careful limiting their.
Well, and if you are disruptive, you will not be allowed to speak.
Right. And furthermore, they said that then we just close it.
Exactly. But we need to put that in writing, I think.
I don't, well, we can put it in our bylaws
You can do that.
because that would be, I mean,
But I think it should be on the back of our agenda. I think people should know we're going to give them every opportunity we can.
So are you
We're not
wanting
going to.
the rules of the meeting on the back of the agenda? Is that what you're referring
I think
to?
it's in the bylaws right here. It's in the bylaws. Guide for public participation. The public shall be invited to speak on any terms, consideration, blah, 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 blah. The speaker should step to the podium. We don't have a podium. They'll just stand up. Prepare statements are welcome. That was another thing is they said, yeah, it should be in writing. Are welcome and should be given to the presiding officer and noted in the minutes of the meeting. Prepared statements are also read, however, shall be deemed unduly repetitious. While the study commission is in session, members of the public must preserve order and decorum. So it's already in the bylaws. But we can put it on.
I would just put it on the back as a little notice if it's going to be more than 3 or 5 minutes. Put it in writing.
City member, preserve order. No person shall delay or, so we can look at number 4 on that and is that, will that be all right to put on the agenda?
Do we even need that much on the agenda? All I'm saying is let's make it short and sweet. If you're going to be over X number of minutes, put it in writing.
Well, they actually said not to limit the time. You can do the 3 minutes, but you have to, but also that any time you are testifying or speaking, you should put it in writing anyway. So,
Well, and the other part of this, no person shall delay or interrupt. We're going to be courteous with you. We expect courtesy.
sure. Yeah. Well, so like at down in the commissioner's room and at town hall, we have the rules. Turning off your cell phone, those things in general. Maybe we take a,
I think that would be better.
yeah, if we have that and
Putting it on the agenda.
yeah, we could have, because we could take it down every time. We can, yeah, just to have it publicized so people know that we're not gonna listen to you. Like we want to listen to you, but we're not going to have you screaming and yelling. No, right? Yeah. Okay. So maybe we do that.
We
The
want to have that prepared by the next meeting.
yeah, I would think so.
That would be something that we.
Everybody,
A blind copy.
Mhm.
Make sure that we all see.
what it is that we would like on there. Right. Sure. Yeah. Yep. Okay. I think that's all I had. I put 9. This is 8. And we'll also on the next agenda we'll have unfinished business and new business. Just for FYI. And I'm going to have to learn again. At our meetings, we give public, at the beginning of it, people can do public comment, but we do not, you guys do it, that they can give public comment after each agenda item. So that's going to be something new in here. It says you have to let people do that in this one. And so I will be retraining myself for that. And then we'll find out from Blaine about the recording stuff. I mean, I'm not opposed to us recording and putting it on the county's website. But I mean, I don't know what is people's feelings about that. We're recording tonight. Right. So we're recording.
The actual recording, the verbal, not the minutes. The minutes don't have to be verbatim, but there are some citizens that want to hear what we're saying.
Do you have the facility of having that transcribed automatically?
No, it
No.
would actually be a recording.
Right.
You're putting on a voice recording.
Yes.
It would be on the county website.
Yeah.
So yours are through Zoom or an owl or something, is that correct?
YouTube, they have a YouTube channel.
So there are some citizens that are wanting to hear what we're saying, not just see the minutes. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
So,
And I don't have a problem with that, but I don't know the law as to like who. Then I would assume the county. We would have to transfer this from this computer to the counties to be able to upload it,
See, now,
to put
that,
it
that could be a problem for you.
exactly
Because you're using a computer from another town.
right.
so we would need to utilize the county's equipment.
Yeah.
She's gonna check to see if it's even, if you have to.
Okay, so we're gonna check. with-
Elena's saying yes, but I don't think so if you don't have capabilities.
Well, in our planning board meetings, we don't record them. Do you guys record your airport meetings? Right. I mean,
So
all of those, we, use that for a reference
for me to.
for her to I mean, she obviously takes good notes, but it's a reference, but we'll just have to talk to Blaine.
Because I know I use Dragon. I've got a professional version of Dragon. And it records everything I say, or if I put a tape into it, it'll type it out.
Sure.
And all you do is proofread.
Not to be nosy, but can you tell me how much that is?
Yeah, you don't want to.
Okay.
It was about $1,500 for the professional version.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there a kindergarten version?
Oh, yeah, yeah. The normal people's version is around 500-600,
That's what. Oh.
but it's not nearly as good.
Right.
So if it's not
Okay.
legally required, then we don't need to do that.
No, we
No,
don't.
no.
I
And-
don't agree that we should do that.
I would be somewhat reluctant to do that unless you had a computer that was just designated
Or
for
that.
somebody.
Exactly. I
Because
agree.
if they go into your computer,
Sure.
you don't know what's going to come out of that.
Well, sure. I don't want it. Yeah.
Somebody could be out there just waiting for something.
Absolutely. I agree.
Boom.
So I would say that we don't have the equipment to do this.
And I think
And we don't have the budget to do it.
if you're recording is your official,
And it's not, our minutes will be the official
then
document.
you have to, I think, publish it.
Yeah, but it's not
Ours
ours.
isn't official either.
Yeah.
But we do publish. It's still there. So you could go in and listen.
Right.
And
Well, the trouble with that is, and I can tell you, I know a little bit about the law, just if somebody were to pick something up off a recording and say, oh, that's right, and then some attorney says, wow, you know what, that could have been called her tape. And all of a sudden, boom, you got a lawsuit.
Right, and I'm sorry, but we're not, I mean, this is, who knows if people are gonna be able to hear it. It's, we don't have a microphone.
Invite everybody as much as possible so that they can come here.
Right,
Here.
exactly.
And not worry about,
I did it again. Apparently I crossed my
you better wear
feet.
different shoes.
I do have to wear different shoes. I just got these not too long ago.
Okay,
Thank
I
you.
saved.
Keep your feet apart.
I
Okay,
always
so
cross,
we're in
like,
agreement.
see, she
Oh, I
does.
do too. We're in agreement that we're not gonna audio it. It's not
No.
required by law. The written minutes will be the official document.
Yes.
Agree? Is this gonna be
Yes.
on my motion?
Yes.
I make a motion that the written documents are the official minutes, that we are not.
I think it states that already in there, but I'll second.
I'll then,
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Yeah. Yeah. I don't, any other boards I'm on, we do not do that. We want people to come and participate.
yeah, but you gotta keep in mind, there's always that element out there that's looking for something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Don't give them the opportunity.
And that's just it. It's not gonna,
So are we adopting this tonight?
the bylaws as stated.
Um, so we do know that next meeting will meet on the.
I haven't read those bylaws, so I really can't vote tonight.
Okay, so
I will,
can we postpone this? But that was one of the
what
things
you
that
can
they
do
told
is
us.
you can simply table it for now and bring it up.
Because I think they just said that they, I mean, they wanted time, they wanted the budget and the timetable for sure, but to talk about the bylaws, but we'll finish that next month.
We really have to be in agreement with.
Yeah.
Because if you violate your bylaws.
Then you're screwed,
So
yeah.
we're gonna table those until the next meeting?
Absolutely.
I would make that motion.
Yeah.
Okay, Gary, thank you. I will second that.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay. And I guess, Gary, if you can't get into your stuff in a reasonable time, hopefully MSU will get you in.
Oh, well, I'm calling her tomorrow.
Okay.
She was at a funeral, just so you know.
I know. I got an email back.
Yeah.
And nice lady.
Yeah.
Typical PhD.
Yeah. So if you can't get a hold of Miranda, and then, and we'll print you out a copy.
I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm still very reluctant to allow anything that we do or say to get out of here.
Well, we can't do that. It's a public meeting.
It's a public meeting, and they're welcome to come, and the commissioners are welcome to come. But I do not think that we should be supplying them information.
We have to give them the minutes.
Well, she's here.
We can give them the
She's a
minutes.
commissioner.
Well,
She's here.
We can give you the minutes, and if you're a commissioner, then you can go and communicate with them.
But it's all open, it's a
It-
public meeting.
It is all open.
Well, it is public, I understand.
The only ones that can't discuss it outside of this meeting are the three of us together.
Right.
As a quorum. Everyone else in the.
I mean, because we don't have anything to hide.
Well, no, we don't.
But that's the law.
But
You
if
have to be
something
able.
comes up that is sensitive in terms of.
Like
let's
what?
decide- Well, let's decide we want to change to a managerial type of
Uh-huh.
government.
Sure.
Self-sustaining.
Yeah.
That's going to really impact the commissioners. It won't affect their present term. But
Sure.
it will certainly affect the way they go forward.
But
That's public meeting, that's what
yeah.
we're here for.
That's the review. I mean,
understand.
that's what the review is
You
for.
don't necessarily want to put that out tonight because it could change.
Well, we don't know that.
Sometimes down the road.
Right, we
That's
don't know
why
that.
they're invited to come, because
Yeah.
it's a process.
Yeah.
Am I mistaken? The only thing that is confidential, not to be discussed, is employee wages.
Exactly.
And their personnel records and litigation. Are those the things that are, those are the only things that
Off
are
limits.
public and
Yep.
are off limits?
Yep.
Well, I
Everything
guess
else
that's
is.
why I'm so sensitive because many of the boards that I've served
Mm.
Okay, yeah, litigation we can discuss.
We really,
Right.
we put out minutes, we would allow people to come.
Sure.
But other than that, we're pretty tight.
As far, you can check with MSU, but the only things that we cannot allow the public to have information on is litigation and employee files as far as wage and their personnel records.
And
Other than that, it's public.
and once you get into this, Gary, you'll see it spells it all out
Okay,
in there.
because, I've got Westlaw and I use it all the time. I'll do a search.
Definitely,
See what I
and
can come up with.
double check with MSU.
And check with them.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Okay, so with this, then my understanding, I will get this timetable and template budget, or will Robin, because she is the clerk secretary.
That's what we need to know. So I know I'm responsible for the minutes.
Yep.
Other than that, I don't know, I haven't read yet what exactly my
It wasn't
requirements
spelled out yet. And I don't know, let me see where that was, if it spells it out here.
Are you in the training section?
No, that was the wrong one, that's unit 2. Folders, 3-ring notebooks, full of this stuff. It's right here.
Yeah, you'll need several.
It was this one, I think.
Do you remember that site that they gave? Do you remember the people involved?
In Great Falls?
Yeah.
I thought I wrote it down.
I've got it down in here, but I never was able to do it.
They quoted it, let me see if I have it in my notes.
Oh, one other thing, when we get a chance after you're done, I have one thing I want to ask you.
Powers up.
The site they gave me, Lindeke v. Freed, $1 million award.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. But it doesn't say Great Falls, so I'm going to keep working until I find out Great Falls.
Huh.
And that was $1 million case only because the
That was
owners
in
were
their
somewhat
handouts.
belligerent and they kind of shut her down and we took it as 1983 suit.
Was it in the handouts where we went?
Yes.
Then this thing?
I don't think
It was one of the
I got
free
an
ones.
email. I received an email afterwards
With this,
with that,
okay.
but that can't be it.
Engagement power form. Oh, I might have written it on there too. Options. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I know I wrote it down someplace too. I just don't know where I wrote it.
I looked through my emails and I couldn't find it again today, but I'll get a hold of Dan Clark and verify.
Okay. So to recap, the next meeting will be January 23rd here at 5 p.m. Correct?
January 16th.
January 16th. I had it on
We're
my third
going
Thursday. Ooh, that's going to be one hell of a week for you.
Yeah. I'll be saying my prayers that week. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that's pretty much every at 5 p.m. courthouse.
January 23rd, I thought it was January 16th.
January 16th.
at 5 p.m.
I said the
here.
23rd. I
It'll
had it
always
written
be
down.
the third
Thursday.
The third Thursday.
Yes, ma'am.
And
At 5.
5,
so,
no later than 8.
so with that, we need to have agenda items to Miranda to be able to post them on the 13th.
Well, one of those is going to have to be the bylaws.
Right. Yeah.
Formalization, finalization.
Right. Of bylaws. Yep.
But we're tabling those until the 16th.
Yes.
Correct.
Till next meeting.
Yeah. So if we have,
Speaking of the agenda.
yeah. So have agenda items to now. What did
Monday the 13th, then she's got the 48-hour window, or do you want to?
Oh no, maybe by the 10th, so that then we can have them posted. That yes.
That Monday?
What was the deal with they are worried about paying Miranda the commission?
No, there was no money issue.
Oh, okay.
It was just that they felt that she couldn't answer questions.
We don't want her to.
And
We
all
just-
she's doing is, so what,
She's
she's just
facilitating
gonna
the
set the
email.
agenda,
Yeah.
and she's gonna communicate with the three of you, or if the three of you are gonna communicate with her.
Well, she'll blind copy us with anything that comes in from the public. We may get stuff from the public individually. I'm sure that we will. But instead of like it, it's a point of contact here so that then also being able to put it on the website for the county. She's that point of
You
contact.
visited with her, and she was okay to be phone.
I visited with Sarah because I thought that she was under, I didn't realize she was separate from
Yeah,
Sarah.
no, they did have, Billy was a deputy, and then she went to administrative assistant, and
Okay.
she's completely out of that office.
So,
Is there someone that would be better?
So,
Point of contact?
do we need to talk with the commissioners about that then?
It probably wouldn't hurt. I can,
Yeah, I mean, you being the liaison.
I just need, yeah, I can visit and stuff.
Yeah.
I just need verification that someone either in the commissioner's office or someone, the assistant in the commissioner's office or someone in the clerk and recorder's office.
Absolutely. I mean, we
Has to be the point of contact.
they have to be.
And they have to be. So, and this is something that I just got the impression that Sarah felt that was none of their business, they didn't have to be involved with it.
The clerk and recorder's office, or who's that?
Sarah or Miranda.
Oh no, they specifically said that because we can't do it because otherwise we'd be a
I just need
forum.
to know that.
Yeah.
So they can,
No, you guys can't say no, you're not gonna do
they
it.
can check with MSU if they have a question.
Right. Yeah.
Which
I mean,
our
they can.
applicant is the one that told us, so.
Do you want us to do
Is
it?
it with Blaine?
I can do that. That's fine. Yeah.
How do we wanna do this?
I mean,
I just need verification that they can't say, well, no, we don't.
well, this is for the county, so I'm sorry to say, but even though, it's Sarah's an elected official and the commissioners
know.
are elected official, it's for the county.
It's just a little bit nitpicky in that I didn't really wanna even say anything, but
I
I just
know.
want some verification.
Okay, so how about if I email, they have a website specifically for these questions for MSU. How about if I email them and
And I can, tomorrow when I go in there, I will visit with Sarah and I will visit with Miranda.
Okay.
And say, okay, we have to have a point of contact, and it does state it's either the clerk and recorder's office or the administrative assistant.
well, because otherwise, then you're gonna
To keep it neutral.
Y-
Or I
yeah.
wouldn't be the point of contact either.
no,
'Cause
right. You're part of the board,
yeah.
a non-voting, but you're still part of the board. So if you do that, you talk to them. I'll email and maybe put Sarah and Miranda on that and Blaine. How's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get it started. I'll go in there and just say, hey, just found out that we need a point of contact and it has to be, and it's fine with Miranda doing it.
Is Blaine your attorney?
Yeah,
Blake's the
county
county
attorney.
attorney.
Yeah.
Well, he would be the person to.
It's not that it's gonna create this big job thing.
No, it's not. So it's truly not. It's a matter of her, if somebody from the public, if they don't know any of our email addresses,
They're gonna get all of the
they're
information.
gonna call the county anyway. And so, and then she can blind copy all of us in it. It's just that we have to be specifically careful of not, just like you commissioners, to not be having a beer and talking about the review board. I mean, that's just how it has to go.
We just want to be ethical.
We
and
do.
We don't want to compromise.
No, understandable. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it.
Oh, I know it's not. I know
But
it's.
what was the lady's name sitting across Whitefish, and she said you have
Oh,
to
the count, the finance officer
Yes, she said you have to go through. You have to use the sources
of the
that you're
county.
studying,
Yes.
and you have to use their personnel. And I wrote it down. I'm just looking for it.
Officer for Whitefish, Montana. It's not Laney. Not the finance department. Wasn't? Yeah, I wrote it down
And this
too.
is, I wrote down that what you were saying about not having your personal email. And instead, commission notes, not personal, not your business, public comment goes to this, we were talking about a city, would go to the city clerk, so it would go to whoever is the clerk of the county.
Of the county.
Bylaw for public communication
So
goes
that
to
would be
Sarah
Sarah.
Brown.
Might be Sarah.
Copy in all emails, ex officio flash, administrator Miranda, create agenda, distribute docs, use county resources, not town, meaning do not do work in town. And so what I wrote, bylaws, public communication have to go through Sarah Brown, it has to go through the city clerk, whoever
Yeah.
that is of the county.
So Sarah needs to know this too.
So whoever it is, that's what I
And
wrote.
Sarah, be Sarah, she's the clerk.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she has to do it then, that's what they
Yeah.
taught us at the Whitefish.
Well, and it should be within there. I'll ask them who that is, and I will have Blaine and Sarah
Yes.
on that.
So basically, they're just funneling the communications to us blindly.
Yes.
Yes.
They're not answering questions.
They're not answering questions.
No, they're just forwarding them
They're just-
to us.
Right.
Blind copy. So we
Yeah.
can't answer.
Get it?
Yeah.
Well, it's just like we have to turn our stuff in to Sarah, who is the clerk and recorder.
That's where things usually go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So,
So that's who it would be.
Yeah.
Sarah, not.
well,
No,
and
no,
that was probably my fault when we were up at Whitefish, because I thought that Miranda was part of the clerk and
So
recorder.
it would be Sarah, but then I did write administrator Miranda create agenda. So it would, we need to find out, would it be Miranda or would it be Sarah for the agenda?
Yeah.
Because I wrote Miranda for the administrator.
Well, we'll get clarification by
Yeah,
giving
just so
it
they
to.
understand that it isn't something that,
That we're choosing, this is what they told us.
yeah, that isn't something that, well, I don't feel like I have to and I'm not doing it.
Well,
Then they have to read the
but
law.
And
well,
that's kind of the attitude I got.
well, and I can see that because it's added more onto their plate. But you're an elected official. I don't like to do stuff
And you're
either,
a citizen
but you
voted
have
for
to.
it.
Which Amanda is not an elected official.
She's an employee.
Miranda. She's in the, yeah, and
She's an
that was
employee, yeah.
that was my bad because I thought she was still under the clerk and recorder, and Sarah could put it to somebody in the office. Hey, you're going to be the point of what's up.
If you have an employee that you're distributing things to, that's not the same as somebody who's been elected a clerk.
Right, but you still have to you still go by ethics and
Well,
oath.
you do,
But as
but many times when employees have done things they shouldn't have done.
Yeah,
Correct, but as a unit here, we have to use their
we have to,
Well,
resources.
and that's fine.
Right.
As long as it's an elected person, clerk.
So he would prefer it be Sarah
okay.
for
And
budgets.
I am totally fine with
I'm
that.
fine with that too.
Oh, yeah, they just told us to use our county brain, use county resources, which makes sense. It's for the county. So,
So going through Blaine, and Blaine needs to tell, and Sarah needs to understand that,
Well, he needs to tell us.
and the board feels that they want an elected official. Is that all three of you?
Well, we're, not that we feel we want it, we think that it's an
Well,
appropriate way to go.
that's what they told us at
Yeah.
Wednesday, so I
Yeah.
wrote down.
and I'll get it from them, and then somebody will blind copy you people.
Okay, we will blindly get it, okay.
Blindly.
Yeah, exactly.
Doing a
So,
lot of reading.
again, I'm taking the budget and the study commission timetable to Sarah to put on, and to because we have to submit it to you guys. And
So when do we want to get it on the agenda to submit it?
it's not going to happen till after the holidays. I just,
Okay, so you're taking the budget and the timetable to Sarah Graham?
I am
And-
taking it to, I will have to write this out better.
Okay.
You'll have to sign it, I'll have to sign it. And the study commission, we approved it on this day, yes. Did we do that by motion, the budget?
I believe we did. Let's see.
If not,
I think we already did. Let me just- So we did a motion to adopt the officers?
I don't think we did it by motion to adopt the budget.
We did not.
make a motion to adopt the budget.
Thank you. And I'll second it.
Budget.
Any other discussion on the budget? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so, let's see, approved on, what's today? The 23rd. 23, 24. Chair, and then, I will have to have you sign this also.
I would like to just confirm too, so we did the secretary by motion,
Yep,
Gail, you second, the chair, myself, Gail second, and we have 3 votes, 2 yeses and 1 abstain.
correct.
So this is our other motion.
Yeah, if you just sign that one right now, and then I will put that in pen, so it's better. Yeah, I'm sure Sarah doesn't want to do it, but that's not.
Unfortunately, it's not an option. So.
I will email Blaine and Sarah and Ashley or Dan. Okay,
I have a question.
sure.
Do you know if anybody in the county or the city has a pocket version of the Constitution of Montana and of the federal?
Elena has one of the federal, I know, and of Montana. Did you print that one out for the state? Yeah.
But this is old now because the referendums.
You might be able to get one through Mako.
Well,
Pocket
I
edition.
bet you we could get one online, or I think they have it on here.
I'm looking for a pocket version.
Oh, a pocket version. Okay, sure. Yeah.
And I just thought maybe you already had one.
I can remember there used to be like a little one like this.
Yeah.
They did used to give them
I
out.
remember.
Yeah, and they should give them out to elected people.
They might, you know, Pocket version, Montana Constitution. Yeah, they have one for $8.76. I might, I just Googled it.
No, I think we should have that because as we get into issues of the law, we really need to consider this.
For at least 1 year. Oh yeah, I bet we could get one from our representatives in our district and or yeah, I mean Montana League of Cities and Towns might even have some.
I would think some organizations should. I mean, that's something I would think they'd like to distribute from time to time.
Okay.
But I'll go on.
Sure. Okay, with that. Whew! We knew it would be long, but we did pretty good. 2 hours and 14 minutes. Any other discussion? I would call for a motion to adjourn, please.
Motion to adjourn.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed?